want to tell you something. Don't be scared. It's midnight, baby, just us two, no bright lights, nothing to prove. Your handshake, mine do too, but it feels right being close to you. Come closer, don't look away. We both know why you came to stay. Your heart beats loud, I hear it too. This moment's a little taboo. Don't rush it, move slow, feel the heat start to grow. If you want me, let it show. Tell me soft, tell me low. Taboo, taboo. Midnight with you.
Hello, and welcome everyone back to Charm Chats and Happily Ever After Sprints, where all month I've been hosting Charm Chats with the rotating lineup of Romantasy authors, and I'm so glad that you're here today. Join us for this next conversation. I'm Shannon, writing under the pen name of SC Huston, and you're here on my YouTube channel where I run weekly writing sprints. I'm also the founder and conference chair of the AuthorTube Writing Conference, now heading into its 5th year. And besides what I do here on YouTube, I'm an epic romantasy author who loves writing about broken characters, brutal choices, and love that refuses to let go, in worlds of dangerous magic, sharp edges, and the occasional dragon. And today I am joined by Charity Mae. I'm so glad to have her here. Charity writes YA romantasy full of magical places, rebel hearts, and glittering danger. Her novels are filled with in-depth characters, dynamic relationship dynamics, and longing that will break your heart. And so welcome to the show, Charity. I'll let you add anything else to your introduction that you want to talk about and add anything I've missed.
Oh, thank you, Shannon. It was a really good introduction. And as she said, I'm Charity Mae. I write YA romantasy, calculated to bring out the feels since I was about 10 years old. So I'm really excited to be here and to be talking to you all today.
Awesome. So we do start off with the author section, the author questions and about the book. And one thing I did put it into your outline. I don't know if you saw that I added it, but I was like, I've never read the the blurb about the books until like 3 episodes ago. I was like, I should have been doing this from the beginning. So we are going to be talking about Charity's book, Where Wishes Fall. And the blurb is: one wish to save their hearts or watch them break. I don't know if is it Ariel? Is that the right way to say it? And then Aldrich.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ariel has been betrayed by everyone she loves. She needs to win a wish to find a new home. Aldrich is desperate to prove himself and save the queen. Winning a single wish could be the difference between having the power to save her or death and fading into obscurity. Their worlds collide when the master of, is it Spectacle?
Spectacle, yeah. That's a little bit of a weird word.
Okay, Master Spectacle calls them to play his dangerous game within the ancient forest that borders the known world. The winner will be granted one single powerful wish. Forced to work side by side, the reluctant allies must fight monsters, illusions, and perhaps their own pride. To win, they must trust and maybe even love each other through these impossible perils. Together, they'll chase their wishes to save their hearts or shatter them forever. The master is calling. Will they survive long enough to claim their wish? And this is a romantasy, so it does have the happily ever after, but there's lots along the way, lots of trials that they have to go through to get their happily ever after. And it's pretty brutal how the story starts. Like very first chapter, with Ariel, and I'm like, wow, okay, yes, she's going to be bitter for a little while. But anyways, what drew you to write in the romantasy genre?
It's always what I enjoyed reading or even watching as a kid. I really enjoyed, I was little, like 5 or 6 when Lord of the Rings came out. My parents were really into that, and so I enjoyed that. But then Disney, and so all those kind of blended in my head. But the biggest thing I didn't like about the fantasy I would read, when it had romance, it always felt like it was a distraction from the plot. So I always like stories where it intermixed really well. So when romantasy started to come out as a thing, I'm like, well, this is exactly what I like now that I'm seeing what the differences are. And so I started reading everything that called itself romantasy to get the idea of what that was like. And it was exactly what I'd always wanted.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure you're probably aware of the beginnings of romantasy. So romantasy, we were talking about this before we came on air about programs can't spell it right because they want to fix it to something else. And that's because I never know if I can say this name right. Portmanteau. So it's romantic fantasy. Romantic fantasy is fantasy with that subplot of romance, which you're stating that wasn't really what drew you. Same for me. I liked it when it was like, integral, like all of it was integral together. Like if you took out the love story, you don't have the book. If you take out the fantasy, you don't have the book.
Exactly.
Or the story. Yeah. But recently, Alex Newton of K-Lyptics, when he came out with his most recent report, and he'd been calling it fantasy romance every year for the last few years until the report came out this year, and he called it Romantasy and talked about the beginnings of where the name came from, but so that now Romantasy is being seen as you can't have the story if you don't have both parts. Like if you take out one, it's, it falls apart. The story does. So eventually all these other programs will catch on.
Eventually.
Adeshe came in. Hello. I am here. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you stopping in. If anyone has any questions for the author about the book or her writing, you're welcome to drop those questions in the chat at any time. So Spectacle.
Both are fine.
Test the heart more than strength. When you created the game, did you start with the magical trials first or with the emotional flaws that you wanted Ariel, Ariel and Aldrich to confront?
So I definitely started with the characters first because Spectacle is very personalized to each person. There's only one shared clue, and that's the first one. And so it had to start with what their emotional struggles were, what they wanted, why they wanted it deep down, because the game is entirely personalized to each person. And so I couldn't really come up with trials until I knew what they needed to work towards and what that wish would be and how the master would mess with it from there.
Which I think is kind of interesting because they kind of get stuck together for some of the trials.
Yes.
It's personalized to them. So yeah, some extra stuff in there. All right.
I like that scene. It made me laugh out loud.
Yeah. Ariel begins the story wanting wealth to prove her worth. At what point did you know that her true wish would shift into something entirely different?
From the very beginning. A lot of the themes and tropes and everything about this story is built on just the mythos of wishes in general, especially in fairy tales. Careful what you wish for. You make your wish and it goes wrong. That type of thing. And so I knew as this game would progress, the idea would be the master's trying to get to what you actually need. What do you really want? And then challenging you, do you want it enough to put up with whatever he throws in front of you? So I knew from the beginning that was going to be kind of superficial. And I think we all do that. We want something, but we don't really realize why we want it for the deeper reason. And so that's kind of the master's game. He likes finding out what that raw thing is and then messing with it and trying to, again, challenge you as a person going, are you really willing? Do you want this wish that much? You're willing to put up with whatever the hell he wants to put you through. And so from the beginning, I knew it would be shallow, and then he knows what it is, tries to lure them so they understand what it is, and then challenge you. Do you really want this?
Yeah. But I have to say, from the reader perspective, reading it, even though both of their wishes could seem like they're shallow, they both come from places that are their deep wounds that they have. So I was curious to see. That drew me through, like, okay, which one's going to get their wish, and is it going to be the actual wish that they want? So I loved how that played out.
No, thanks.
Mars came in. Hello, how are you doing? Adeshe saying hello. And then Ray Trickster. This is someone new to me. I don't know if you know them, but hello and welcome. And then hi, Adeshe from Mars. Okay. The master of Spectacle feels theatrical and morally ambiguous. I have to say, it reminded me of like the Wizard of Oz, like the man behind the curtain kind of like deal. But what role does he play thematically in the story beyond just being the wish granter?
So he very much represents the idea of wishing magic, especially when you go to classic literature, media, and things like that. Again, the djinn, you got to be careful what you wish for with the djinn because he's going to twist it on you. But also the deeper, more heartfelt part. I mean, the reason that Disney does as well as it did back in the day, especially, was playing on this idea of hopes and wishes and aspiring for something better. And so his theatrical kind of comes from that element of him, that he represents this idea and trying to, again, challenge you to overcome great obstacles to reach this goal, but also having, again, but be careful what you wish for. It might come back to get you, or you might not want what actually happens. And so that's a big part of him and his role in the story, and that symbolism of this is the magic that might come to get you if you're not careful and know exactly what you're going for.
It just hit me. I was saying, it reminds me of the wizard and the Wizard of Oz, but he's kind of a cross between that and the guy from Willy Wonka.
That is definitely probably what he looks like. I don't know how he feels about that comparison, but I like it.
Ray says, I love Charity's books. The Enthronement series was awesome. So excited for this new one. So does this book? So by the way, for anyone that's in the chat, you can get this book free. You can sign. It's linked in the chat at the top if you want to get a copy of this book and join her newsletter list. But does this start off a whole new series? I know that's not one of my questions, but
yes. So it does. It's not. It's a direct tie-in, but they're very separate. It actually came from, I was writing the main series that's coming out hopefully later this year, a still work in progress on that. And I was telling the story, there was this story about this couple like back in the past so it comes up a lot. And I realized, wouldn't it be good to go in and actually write this story, to actually go through and see what it is? And then it came out with this. Again, I loved the way it came out. Just, it felt like a classic fairy tale in so many ways, but still more modern and in depth and then a more modern writing. And so that's where it came from, is it came from creating this game for a different story, but then seeing this past story of another set of players who had played it. So it does tie in, but they're not necessary to each other because it's a story in the same universe. And there's a few connecting characters, but not
it's like a good reader magnet for when you've got that series out. So the final wish rewards selflessness rather than ambition. Was that always the message you wanted readers to walk away with?
See, when you saw that question, I actually had to like sit and like think about how to verbalize what I was thinking. Because usually when I'm writing, I don't really think of a message. I'm a little more like Tolkien that way. Like you write a story and people are going to see messages and the means that they need. But for me, it's more about what questions do I want them coming away with to think about, what feelings do they have? So when you said that, I'm like, well, I wouldn't say that isn't an intent in there. It wasn't on the forefront of my mind. But it certainly was something, again, that's kind of tied in the whole bit, what you really want. What is, do these wishes do something that actually fulfills something for you? Because oftentimes we're more fulfilled by doing something for somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I didn't really think of it that way, but yeah, it'd be intentional, but not on the forefront of my mind.
Right. Yeah. No, you just claim it. It's that way, that's what I do.
You should be able to find lots of things that I didn't initially think of in the moment. That's how it should go. If the story's good, it should have so many layers.
Yeah. I'm a discovery writer, so there's lots of things that come out. I'm like, I don't know what this is going to mean or where it's going to come out or if it's going to work later, but we'll see.
Same. A gardener, plant my seeds and see where they go.
Yep. All right. So do you have a favorite romantasy author or a story that really shaped how you think about blending fantasy and romance?
So I had to think about this because romantasy is so new, and it was something where it's like, oh, this sounds like what I've always wanted to do. Let me look into this more. I mean, for me, wanting to do clean YA, especially, I think Mary Meckham was like when it came to author, because she was just one of the first I could find that did that. And she blended fairy tales, which is something I really like, as you can tell from a lot of what I write. So that gave me a lot of understanding, like, what is this new term? What is this genre without the spicy elements? Because that part was pretty apparent. But also once I finally read Once Upon a Broken Heart, I think that really helped me connect how those pieces work, especially in a YA setting. And so I think those two were the first that came to mind when I'm like, how did I really learn that this is what I like to do?
Yeah. Yeah. I did the same thing. Fantasy romance probably been around for a while. It just wasn't like a recognized genre. And so there wasn't like any set way of doing it. But when it did start becoming more of a genre, I started reading widely in the genre. There's really a whole lot of niches
all over.
Yes. So everything. And I'm like, what do I actually want to write? So it took me a while too. Yeah. Like a good year of reading.
I know what people meant by the term. Like, so what do you mean? Does that align with what I'm thinking of? Was really for me what I was trying to find.
Yeah. All right. So what is your favorite fantasy or romance trope and why?
I think it's forbidden romance because it usually comes with a lot of yearning with it. It just kind of dumps out buckets of that. But also it's one of the tropes that makes it easiest to intertwine the plot with the romance, because it's like, well, I want this, but the plot prevents this. And it's a much easier way to do that. That's, the main trope I use for my first series, the first romantic series, The Enthrallment, all of those books was using that, because then it kind of requires the two to be mixed together because the plot is forbidding the romance, and it just makes it a little bit easier.
Okay. Yeah. I like anything that adds angst and tension.
Yes, angst and tension. That's kind of why I actually into YA, not just clean, but YA always has more angst to it, and I love it.
It does. I sometimes wonder, like, I should have, because when I wrote my first series, it was fantasy, and that was it was marketed for YA because of the angst, and I'm like, maybe I should have stuck with YA, but I love the angst. But.
Oh yeah.
So now we are going to go into the fun and games section, and it is author's choice, and Charity chose villain, anti-hero, or love interest. So for this one, I'll describe a fantasy character concept, and we'll decide which role we'd want that character to play in a fantasy romance story or romantasy. Are they the villain, the morally gray anti-hero, or the love interest? And No wrong answers, and morally gray opinions are absolutely encouraged. So I do like this game. I've got a wheel here with lots. We're not going to get through all of these. This is
I hope not.
I did try to get like a lot of them based off of your story, but there's a lot in here that are not as well. So yeah. And so for everyone in the chat, please play along with us and assign a role. A merciless protector. Guess that would be like anti-hero? I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like that's like the easiest answer, so I want to make it more difficult. So I think I try to go love interest, especially when I write, usually not spicy and try to get a little cleaner. I think that'd be tricky. That's what I would pick because I'd give myself a challenge. Do love interest that way.
Probably not the villain. Not with the word protector in there. It didn't feel like it'd be. The girl who refused to turn back. Yeah, that could. Well, I would say that could be Ariel.
Yes.
Adesha said I would go with villain for the merciless protector.
That's a good choice too.
Yeah. So what about this one? Which role?
I would do villain for this one. I think that'd be fun, especially when I do fairy tales. You're queen, the girl who refused to turn back.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that it kind of sums up my my villain across a 3-book series that is now going to have her own love story, but she has to be redeemed first. So
very important.
Yeah. Makes me think of Elsa. Oh yeah, right. Oh, love interest and then villain.
Ooh, there you go.
Refuse to turn back, love interest. The game master who fell for a player. I guess would start off as a villain. It could be the answer.
Yeah, that would be how it goes. I won't say. I might have spoilers if I answer that question.
that was the chuckle that we just heard.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't answer that one.
Villain. Ooh. Oh, that's fun. Villain, then anti. That's what I was thinking. Villain and then anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. The saint who committed one unforgivable sin.
Ooh.
I'd have to say hero because I'd love to see them figure this out.
Because of that, I would pick anti-hero. I think anti-hero. Get that mix.
I suppose it could be a villain.
Yeah, it definitely could.
Yeah. It's interesting when they could fall into all 3 roles.
They really can.
The final trial bride. But for the last one, anti-hero for Deshley, love interest for Ray, and then love interest for Mars. All right, the final trial bride. I don't know what I was thinking with this one. I guess I was thinking about the trials in your book. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'd like villain, maybe.
Yeah, do something a little different.
Yeah.
I do love interest just because I think that'd be. It's almost like I want to do both, so I guess anti-heroes both, right? You do love interest, villain.
Yeah. Ray says villain.
Yeah.
Love interest for Mars and anti-hero for. We had all of them.
Yeah. That's the most fun is when it's all crazy.
A hunter who won't finish the kill. I mean, sounds like it has to be a hero.
Yeah, that sounds like an anti-hero very much.
Yeah, if he had every intention or she had every intention of killing, but didn't finish it.
Thinking of like half the Snow White retellings I've seen.
Yeah.
I feel like all of those have that person.
Yeah. Hero, says Ray. Love interest. We'll have all of them again. Oh, nope. Hero for Deshley. No villains. Finalists who sabotage themselves. Ooh. Have to be anti-hero, I think. Sabotage is almost like something that's negative, but they do it for themselves. Perhaps they anticipated sabotaging it, but then decided to do it against themselves if they fell in love with someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking love interest. I was thinking along the same lines.
Villain.
That was my first instinct. I was like, no, I'm going to twist it, make it more. I like to make it hard on myself, unfortunately.
Well, I think that makes for some of the best characters. So
I hope so.
I'm going to say it was a fluke and they screwed up.
A villain who screwed it up, so then they didn't win.
Love interest for that last one for Ray. The assassin who always warns their target. Oh my Lord. Well,
Love interest.
love
I already
interest,
could think of
yeah.
so many things I would play with that.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how they warn them. If it's like, hey,
Heads
you're gonna
up!
die next. No? Hello. Hello, Renee. How are you doing? Hello, hello. Hoppy in while I work on an art project. Well, welcome. I hear a dog barking. Sorry. I
At
don't know
least
if
it's
you
not
can hear.
mine.
The monster who keeps the village safe.
Love interest.
Yeah, that's the love interest. Oh, Ray said that last one was a bad assassin.
He's a bad assassin. I don't know. You'd be really good if you're just yelling heads up and then do it. There's not a lot of time to react. You'd have to have plot armor most of the time.
Yeah. Especially if heads up helps them get the kill shot.
Exactly. Heads up. I can't see your head. That's going somewhere now, isn't it?
And hello, LOL. Also working on an art project and anti-hero for this one. I think I'd have to go with hero to make it interesting, I think. Anti-hero, love interest.
Yes.
The immortal who fell in love with their prey. Yeah.
That really could be any of them.
Yep. Hero, I haven't picked that yet. I think that was for the last one. And yay for the heart. I don't know.
I think I can go with anti-hero, but I feel like I would easily do all of the above depending what plot they're in.
Yeah, villain. But if they fall in love with their prey, right, it has to be like a villain turned love interest.
Yeah, it would have to be, yeah. So it's like, is it doing the villain love interest or anti-hero love interest?
Yeah. The fiance who married for inheritance. Ooh, that could be a good villain or anti-hero, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd lean towards villain if depending on what kind of story I put it in, especially because I've been arc reading a book where it has something similar to that. I think I would twist it, make it a villain instead of the love interest like it is in
Villain.
that story.
Villain.
They can go in villain.
Villain. Everyone's going with villain.
We're all going villain. Yay. We're all a little messed up.
Right. Okay, Adeshly decided. Well, Adeshly, you said villain before.
I said villain.
It's okay. The girl who refused to be chosen. This would be an interesting, like, chosen one story. And they refuse to be chosen. I don't know how you would write that story, though.
Because it's already a trope within Chosen Hero. You always refuse the call eventually, but then you're always shoved into it.
Yeah.
So I guess if you go the entire plot refusing over and over and over and over again.
And then what kind of book is that?
Right?
Yeah.
It's a great question. I guess anti-hero, because you're going for doing the opposite of what's expected if you're doing this. What
Yeah, I
way
agree.
you have to go?
I think it'd be anti-hero. Yeah.
You have to be
Adeshly goes with hero. love interest. That the enthronement.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That is exactly what. Okay, I've already done it. You win. That's fair, actually.
The stable hand who bought the kingdom.
I'd like that to be villain. That sounds very fun.
The villain.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Someone who's like scheming from the
Yeah,
sidelines.
you started with stable hand and then you bought the kingdom somehow. Maybe villain, then love interest.
Yeah.
Story
like that.
progresses.
Villain. Hero. I wouldn't know how I'd want to do this one. The soldier who wanted glory too much. Sounds like it has to be a villain or anti-hero. We'll just have to make them go through spectacle.
There you go, because then they might know why they want the glory, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna figure it out.
This Joker.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I agree with that one.
The troll who collects broken promises. Ooh,
Ooh,
that would make a good story.
make a very good story.
I would say maybe hero.
Yeah, that's what I think I'd want to do. Hero love interest.
I don't know on that one.
Collects broken promise. What does he do with the broken promise?
Right.
That's
Does
just
he-
almost like, isn't that just what I do? I promise you your wish, but then I mess with you so much you're not ever going to get it.
Right. Then be a villain.
Yeah.
Anti-hero. At least I'd go with anti-hero. The blood drinker who only feeds on the willing. So some of these that I have in here that were not the ones I built just for your book were built for the last person's book, and hers was about vampires. So that's why you guys.
That's where that was going.
Yep. Blood drinker who only feeds on the willing.
I would definitely do hero for that one.
Yeah, it has to be hero.
No, it's just too much fun. That's probably one of the most fun vampire tropes there is. But there are a lot of good ones.
Yeah, Dishley says hero as well for that last one. The immortal who let the sun take them once. I don't actually know what I meant by that. So we can make it up and be whatever we want it to be.
I'll go anti-hero with that one. Somebody who gained a chip on the shoulder to be kind of anti-hero by whatever happened when the sun takes them, whatever that means.
Yeah. Because I mean, if they let the sun take them once, that assumes that they can be taken again.
Right.
Which means they didn't die. So then why would it matter if the sun took them once?
Exactly. So
That's
there must
what
be a chip on the shoulder for that story to be happening. Like it did. Like it's not a pleasant experience.
Must be, right. Hey, Kaufman, how's it going? Oh, it's like the wrong one. There you go. Happy Friday. Adeshle said, this is an interesting one. Love interest, I guess. Yeah, probably. Depends on what happens. Let's do another one.
You almost have to build a plot in your head to make some of these make sense.
Right. Yeah, because I don't know what I was thinking with some of these.
Almost good.
The pact-bound librarian.
Ooh.
I suppose it depends on what the pact is.
Mhm.
It feels like it should be hero right up front, unless the pact is something negative.
Right, like an anti-hero love interest, maybe.
Yeah.
That could be good. The pact is the little hidden thing.
Adesha is going further with that last one. I'm thinking like if the sun is a being.
Yeah, it could be it. The sun could be a being.
Yeah.
Ah, that would
I
make
like
sense.
that idea.
That would work.
But then what does it mean by take them?
Right.
Because when you take them in a romance book, that means something different.
It means something different than it might mean somewhere else. Yes.
Yes.
That a euphemism or no?
Hero or villain for this one.
Hmm.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know if there's, for me, probably no middle ground. It's either good pact or bad pact.
Oh, yep. Olympian vibes.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Busy doing writing sprints soon, and the movie night in our Discord. The wheel you got on is cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Pact-bound librarian, love interest. I'm thinking it's going to be love interest too, but it just depends on what the pact is. And Ray says villain. He makes pacts with others, sells their soul kind of deal.
There you go. He's the one who's making the pacts a little more like Master Spectacle vibes. I like it. Zeus type with consent.
With consent, yep.
Does Zeus ever get consent?
I don't know.
I love Greek tales, but I can't think. There probably is one. I just can't think of it.
The Burn the World King. I mean, these are almost always either the anti-hero, they're morally gray, or they're the hero.
Right. Yeah, but I almost always love interest. So to make it fun, I might do villain just to do something different.
I would say, and like if it's a strictly fantasy story and you have a king that wants to burn the world, that's usually not a positive character.
No.
So I did understand that you meant that with the sun, with the Zeus type for the
yes.
Villain for this one, says Ray.
And then we'll put marshmallows over it. Burn the word and then roast marshmallows on it. That's what we'll do.
And play the wire. Or whatever it was that I don't remember the Roman what is his name? The Roman king or emperor that he was playing an instrument while
yes. I can't think of his name either, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Start to see.
Yeah. It's not Cornelius is different. Goodness. Yeah, I'm not going to come up with it. I'd be Googling it. Yep.
All right. The only player he didn't want to win. Feels like it has to be a love interest, but Deshley says, Deshley said love interest for this, but Ray said villain. It feels like it has to be a love interest, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I suppose if
I could try to do this villain. That's kind of what I lean toward. Just again, trying to do something a little bit different. They didn't want to, but they won. And
Nero.
The beginning. There we go. Yes. That's not a C. Maybe that's why I couldn't get it.
Caesar. I think I was thinking Caesar.
Oh, well, it wasn't him.
Well, they also, they're kings, right? They're called Caesars. So
yes.
Yeah. Oh, Ray said also anti-hero, reluctant love interest for that last one.
That makes the most sense.
The one who turned down immortality.
Typically, that's love interest.
Love interest, yeah. Let's do one more, and then we'll start into our sprint.
Awesome.
Ray said love interest for that last one. The Black Wedding Priest.
Ooh. I just want to sit and think about what that would mean.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
I think anti-hero is probably what I would.
Yeah, anti-hero, or you could do love interest and make that interesting. He's always putting other people together, but then doesn't want to be put together himself.
Yeah.
Somebody.
I guess it would also depend on how you would define Black Wedding in the story that you write them
exactly. So I just want to sit there and think about what that would mean.
Villain for Ray. I mean, it could be a villain.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It could fit all three. I think we can make this one work for all three.
A lot of them can. And if you're really creative, all of them really could.
True.
How good the final product is going to be debatable, but you could. Good.
All righty. So we have finished playing our game. That was fun. This was not one that I had a couple years ago. Some of the games I've carried over, the ones that were really popular, like Would You Rather's, like really, really popular ones. But I really like this idea of coming up. Additionally, said hero for that last one. I think I said this one already. Villain for Ray for that one. So, all right. Next, we are going to move into our happily ever after writing sprint. Charity left it up to me. I hope you're okay. I wanted to go without a writing prompt because I wanted to get to. I'm writing a brand new book, so I feel like that urge. I just want to keep on writing it right now. So I've been revising.
You pick for a reason.
Yeah. We'll put that up there. Oh yeah, I need to switch up my screen. Hold on. It only lets me share one screen when it's a web page, so I need to choose the new one. Share this tab instead. We got 30 minutes on the clock. For the 30-minute writing sprint, I'm going to be writing on the new book that I have. What are you going to be working on, Charity?
So I'm going to be working on the very next draft, starting right from the beginning of Once Upon a Fallen Star, which is where Wishes Fall leads into.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to that. I really like the story, so and it does feel like there's a lot more that could be said about this world that you start developing. So, for anyone that's in the chat, you're welcome to work on whatever productivity you need, whether reading, writing, housework, coursework, day job, or just taking care of you. We're going to do 30 minutes on the clock, and we'll get going in 3, 2, 1, and good luck.
Bye-bye.
All right, that is time. How did you do?
I did pretty good. Got a little over 1,000 words in.
Oh, nice. 789 for me.
Very nice.
I felt like it was like a lot more. And then when I actually looked, I was like, oh, that's not that much. But I think I have like the rest of the chapter in my mind, but I just don't have it out yet. So we'll check in with everybody here. Radiant. I finished some art. Awesome, Mars. I hope you are feeling better. Don't know where my other post went, but got some grant writing done. Pup barked nonstop at workers on a neighbor's wall.
Relate to that problem. Mine's taking a nap, thank heavens.
Yeah, I think mine was just out there barking. So, yeah. Well, before we wrap up everything, can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on next and when it might come out? And I mean, that doesn't have to be like what you're working on right now. Like, what do you have that might be coming out next?
Yeah, so what would be coming out next is Once Upon a Fallen Star, which is the series that connects into Where Wishes Fall. Hopefully later next year. Depends how quickly I can get editors through and I can get through my things, but hopefully later this year. And that is best news I can give is it's going to dive a lot more into the Master of Spectacle and his magic and his game and a lot more of that backstory.
Nice. Are we ever going to know like where he came from? Like, is that what you mean? But yeah,
we'll learn a little more about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we will.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So before we wrap up, you want to tell us a little bit about, before we end the show, tell everyone where they can find you and purchase your books. And I did put your links down below and I just did drop them into the chat as well. So.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so you can go to those links. You can look up Charity Mae, as you see on the screen, MAE. I'm on Amazon. You can find my books there on Kindle Unlimited. You could get paperbacks pretty much anywhere you can buy them online for, as I have How About the Enthronement and the Custode Chronicles. I totally blanked on my own series name. Good job, me. And then I'm on most social medias. I love being there. And I love all the artists in there. I love getting fan art. And I always feature, that's one of my favorite part of the newsletter is showing off people's fan art. Yeah. So I'm always on there looking for fan art and just sharing other artists. And so that's where I like to hang out and see people's fan theories and art and love being in this community.
Yes. Deshley said, did a little cleaning. Mars says, sounds like a fun series. And Deshley is our foodie. He says, I've got a cake to make tonight. So what kind of cake?
Now I need to go get cake.
Yeah. I'm thinking about that too. He made a carrot cake earlier this week that his other half took to work and they chowed down on him. Like, he needs to live closer so I can go to work with his other half and get some of that.
Right? That sounds good.
Blinking on serious names, character names. So it's just part of the writer life. I was blinking.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think, especially when you write fantasy. So if you fantasy, whether it's fantasy romance or it's fantasy, whatever it is, you have lots of names. You just do. It's part of writing fantasy. Especially if you write high fantasy or epic fantasy like I do. And that's kind of what you're writing as well. I think after a while, you're like, oh, wait, what book was that?
What was that one's name? And being dyslexic doesn't help. So I can't remember how to spell anything, but my fingers know how to spell them. My mouth doesn't, and it makes everything worse.
Yeah. Especially if your brain goes faster than your mouth, because that's what happens.
Yeah. I'm lucky I type faster. I'd never be able to do this. I'd have to do what you do.
The dictation. Yeah, I was telling Charity behind the scenes that most people are here, they know that I dictate because I type really slow. And I did admin in the military for over 10 years. And and they went at least 42 words per hour. And I was like, I was lucky if I hit 42 words per minute. Per hour would be really slow. And I was lucky if I could hit that. In dictation, I can hit that so much faster. So you're doing another carrot cake. Yeah. So excited for this series, says Ray. And I'm sorry, Trevor Barnfield of the Whisper Shield. What does that say? Whisper Shields. I just blanked on your name. I know your shenanigans by heart. I feel that way. All righty. Well, that brings us to the end. Thank you so much for joining me today on Charm Chats.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I had a great time. I love doing this type of thing, so I really appreciate it. I was really excited to get your invite. I was really excited.
Yeah. It's always great. I think we like to talk about our work. So it's great when all we do is talk about our books.
Yes.
So next on, so I have on here next on Charm Chats is Adeshley, but I forgot we have someone who jumped in right ahead of Adeshley, and that is DL Tillery. But they're both on the same day. So DL Tillery is a good friend of mine in the author community. She writes dark fantasy and horror. And I forgot she said she was writing now some romantasy. And so I was like, oh, I got to get you in here because I mentioned it to her last year. And she's like, oh, I want to do that. And I totally forgot because I kept thinking she's horror and dark fantasy. So she's coming in. So the next Charm Chats we have is on Thursday, February 26th. And at 4 p.m., we'll have DL Tillery Central Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. We will have Adeshle come in and talk about his fantasy romance. And thanks for dropping in to Ray. And thanks for having me. Thanks for joining. Yes. All right. And that will do it. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
I want to tell you something. Don't be scared. It's midnight, baby, just us two, no bright lights, nothing to prove. Your handshake, mine do too, but it feels right being close to you. Come closer, don't look away. We both know why you came to stay. Your heart beats loud, I hear it too. This moment's a little taboo. Don't rush it, move slow, feel the heat start to grow. If you want me, let it show.